Hey guys. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Super excited to be here tonight. And hey, Sherelle, how are you? Hi, Sherelle on Instagram. I'm just making sure that we are live in all locations. I'm using a software I haven't used in a while right now. So give me a moment and let me check my connections. I think that I am good. All right, so we're good to go on Facebook. We are live on Instagram. I believe that we are live in the Facebook group as well. We're live on YouTube. So excited to be here with you guys this evening. Now, tonight I'm talking about the number one marketing element that you need to position yourself for sales beyond your book. If you all are new to me, my name is Jasmine Womack. I'm extremely passionate and committed to helping experts and entrepreneurs with a track record of success package their intellectual property into books, coaching programs, signature talks, and more, and helping you to sell it. I am an expert in what it takes to become published and paid. And I just believe that, especially in this day and age, there's so much fakeness online. I was just on Instagram and there was an influencer who positions herself as a licensed clinical therapist giving advice on discipline, and the person that was kind of reporting on her was like, this, she's a doctor with credentials, and I'm like, she doesn't even have those credentials. Like, we're just in a space, in a time and in an age when everyone has access to create content, right? And if you have conviction, if you have confidence behind your voice, if you sound like you know a little bit about what you're talking about, it's very easy to missile people. This is why I'm so I truly believe that experts are the real influencers, because not only do you have the confidence and the conviction about what you teach, but you also have the credibility. You've also been doing the work. You also have put in years of studying. You also have evidence to prove that your strategies and your methods are the real deal. And I believe if anybody needs to be writing books, if anybody needs to be on stage speaking, if anybody should be creating courses, coaching programs, licensing offers, and things of that nature, if anyone should be leading others, it's experts, right? The people that have been putting in 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years in your expertise. You have the credentials, you've studied your lane, you've worked in your lane, you know what works, you know what doesn't work, because you've put in the work. You've got the credibility, you've got the competence, you've got the confidence, and you can communicate clearly about what it is you do. And so, however, what I find though is that the people that are qualified and credible to get on Front Street and to be on Front Street, teaching others, guiding others, and leading others, are oftentimes playing behind the scenes and are in the shadows. I'm just saying what it is, because there's an element called marketing when it comes to growing your brand, when it comes to expanding your brand, when it comes to, growing your business. There's an element called marketing, especially for those of you all who have personal brands, which, if you're building a thought leadership brand, you have a personal brand. And there's this element called marketing that requires you to be visible and requires you to communicate and kind of be out on Front Street and move from behind the scenes, and a lot of people shy away from it. And there are people who are less qualified than you that are getting the contracts, they're booking the stages, they're getting the clients simply because they have the courage to show up and they have conviction behind their voice. And if there's any time for that to stop, it needs to be 2025. I every time I log online, anytime I log on to any type of online platform, it's just noise, 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 noise. And really, that's what it is. It's a lot of noise. It's a lot of people spewing a lot of opinions that are not substantiated by any type of evidence. It's not substantiated by any type of evidence. And truth be told, half the things that people put online won't even live or survive in the offline space. This is why it's so important for you to show up in this day and age. It's so important for you to have the courage. It's so important for you to step out. It's so important for you to not just up level, but to believe that you can do it and that you'll be successful when you do it, that people are actually rooting for you. It's important for you to believe that there are people who want you to win. It's important for you to believe that there are people who are looking for what you have and that they are willing to pay you double or triple what you're likely already charging because they are seeking solutions and they're not buying based on price. So if there's any time that has been important for you to show up, it's now. And this is a day and age when a lot of people are stepping back. They're allowing what's going on, the news or whatnot, to make them shy back. They're getting in their heads. You know, if you're a believer, and let's just talk about current events. I'm not going to go too deep into current events. But if you're a believer, the Bible says that there will be wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that none of this concern you. And every single day, when I tell you, I had to put some people on mute because I'm like, every single day, y'all getting on talking doom and gloom. You're getting on talking about news, and the way that you're positioning it is help making people's anxiety go up. But this is why it's so important for believers to connect with other believers and for you to be tuned into your word and for you to lock in tight on your vision, on your goals, commit to that vision, commit to that goals, and see to it that you're doing the work every single day. Because the word says that there will be wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that none of it concerns you. And if the word says that, then why are you getting online allowing what this influencer say to make your anxiety go up? Why are you getting online allowing these news reports to make your anxiety go up? It's already written that these things will happen. But what's important is that you understand that you have the emotional intelligence and capacity to manage yourself and to guard your mind and to keep your mind, because psychological warfare is a real thing. And at the end of the day, you have to believe what God's word says above what anybody else's word says, because when you start tuning into what the media is doing, then they literally can control your mind, your thinking, your emotions, your mental state through what they produce. So you have to consume the information in a way that you will be informed without being startled. You and this is a way in which we all have to operate when you want to elevate and advance and accelerate your progress, even during what some people may call a challenging time, right? So if you're wondering, how are some people still moving forward? How are some people still being successful despite all the things? That's because they've got their mind focused on what's ahead. They've got their mind focused on the mission that God has called them to. They've got their mind focused on those things and not on what all the drama is going on. You've got to guard your mind. You've got to guard your spirit. So I had to come on and share that with y'all because I know that just right now it's very easy for things to feel heavy, especially depending on who you're listening to. So we've got to this is where we have to guard our gates. In my first book, I talked a lot about guarding your gates, guarding your eye gates, guarding your ear gates, being extremely particular with what you allow into your spirit through what you watch and allow in your spirit through what you are listening to, and making sure that you are taking in information from a space that's healthy and not from a space that's going to make your anxiety shoot all the way up. Okay. This is why community is important. This is why who you're connected to is important as well. Okay. I'm looking for my charger, guys. I don't see it here, but we're going to keep it moving. All right. So I wanted to come on tonight. I'm not going to be on very long. But I wanted to come on to talk about the number one element that you need to position yourself for sales beyond your book. And I started this live stream by really talking about um, people who are less credible and less qualified than you, but they are achieving more success because they have more confidence, they speak with conviction, and because they have the courage to show up. And this is a point in time when it's not time for you to shrink back. It's not time for you to hide. It's absolutely time for you to show all the way up with the boldness, with the courageousness that is inside of you. Okay. It's time for you to move from behind the scenes to being on Front Street. All right. Now, marketing is an Achilles heel for a lot of people. Am I right or am I right? A lot of people think that they don't know what to do. But let me tell you something, when it comes to marketing, consistency is going to be your absolute best friend. Now, I will say that on Saturday, July 12th, here in the metro Atlanta area, I'm holding a 1-day in-person event. I like to think of it as a group VIP day. And it's called Seven Figure Bestseller Summit. And I'm going to be teaching on how to create your marketing plan, right? But a lot of times people think that marketing has to be this whole entire cumbersome, complicated process, and it doesn't have to be. Your consistency and your ability to show up on a regular basis will put you ahead of 76% of the competition. I would even say 80% of the competition, to be honest with you. I was doing some stats on podcasts recently. I actually today I think we released our 51st episode of the Published and Paid podcast. And one of the things that I found about podcasting, it was like some wild statistics. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick because I don't want to skew the data, and I want to make sure that I give you guys accurate data. But this is just to illustrate how important consistency is, right? Let's see if I can find it. I don't know if I can find it. I'm not going to sit here and dig through it on my personal page and then sit here have y'all waiting. But it's that something to the degree of um only 71% of podcasts like release no 71% of podcasters don't release more than 50 episodes. So it's like if you make it to the 50th episode of your podcast, just literally through consistency, you're already in like the top 10 or 20% of podcasters just because you have released episodes consistently. I like to think about marketing in the same way. Are you showing up once a month, posting valuable content? Are you showing up every single day? Now, if you want to build a brand in the online space, you're going to have to be visible. If you want to build a brand in the offline space, you're going to have to be visible. The visibility elements will look different depending on where you want success. So for instance, in the online space, you're going to have to create content. You might have to go live. You're going to have to create newsletters. You're going to have to build your email list. Like this is a part of marketing. And some people like to complain about work, but my thoughts is if you can build a 5, a 6, a multiple 6, or even 7-figure business literally from anywhere in the world, with only a laptop, a Wi-Fi, and thought leadership positioning, and all that's required for you to do is to send emails, post content, go live, then why wouldn't you do that? Like, honestly, I like to look at it like if you think about back in the day, like when we were children, I'm in my 40s. So when people, when we were children, we would have salesmen go door to door, and sometimes companies still go door to door. They knock on, like the cable companies and stuff. If somebody's in your neighborhood cutting down a tree, they're gonna come knock on your doors and say, hey, I'm cutting down trees, do you want X, Y, and Z service? But at one point in time, before the internet was as prevalent as it is, salesmen used to go door to door, letting people know, about their products and services and trying to sell. Well, in 2025, our door to door is posting the content. Our door to door is going live. Our door to door is publishing the podcast episode. Our door to door is sending the email. So if you can grow the business that you desire from just simple strategy, effort, and consistency, then literally, why wouldn't you do that? So let's get into it. The number one marketing element that you absolutely need to position yourself for sales beyond your book when you want to be successful with your marketing is that you must have the ability to effectively articulate who you are, what you do, and how you do it. That is the number one marketing element that you absolutely need if you want to be successful with sales beyond your book. Because if you don't know, and if you're not able to confidently articulate and communicate who you are, what you do, who you serve, and the outcomes that you help people to get, you won't be able to effectively create the content that you need. You won't be able to speak to your prospects. You've got to know how to articulate this. When I was sitting down earlier today and I began to wonder, what is it that makes some experts and authors successful versus those who are unsuccessful, right? And I was looking at this testimonial that my client sent me in Voxer. And one of the things she said, while we were talking, I heard her tell I ended up telling her about my consulting business and the work that I do and the book that I wrote, which is what piqued her interest. And when she heard I wrote a book, that opened up the door for her to start asking me more questions about everything else. And so she actually inked a $10,000 contract from a simple conversation where she mentioned her book, talked about the work that she did and the outcomes that she helped people to get. And I want to ask you, if somebody comes up to you and asks you, what do you do? Are you able to clearly, confidently, and succinctly tell them in 5 seconds or less? And they walk away with full understanding of who you are and whether or not you're able to help them. It's literally that simple. If you find yourself tripping over your words, if you find yourself giving this extremely extensive response, if you find yourself talking about the multiple businesses that you have and all of the things, then we need to go back to the drawing board. We need to go back to the drawing board. And oftentimes I see a lot of experts and even entrepreneurs that I'm talking to. Somebody was saying this to me. She was like, well, I already wrote my book, but I just need the messaging and the marketing. And I'm like, how have you written a book, but now you need the messaging? You must have the messaging intact before you write the book, because your messaging is going to determine the direction of your book. It's going to determine the stories that you include. It's going to determine the case studies that you include. It's going to determine your marketing elements and upsells that you include in your book. Your messaging is going to determine all of that. If you're ensuring your ideal client, you need to go back to the drawing board, because who exactly are you writing this book for? Who exactly are you creating this course for? What is the overall point that you want this audience to get from you when you begin speaking? And which audiences are you speaking to? You must absolutely have clarity around that. And what I see a lot of people doing it backwards. Because we're smart and because we're intelligent, we're like, okay, I have the skill set, I can write. But you got to understand that writing for academics is very different from writing. It's a very different skill set, and it's a different method that's needed when you want to write to grow a business, or when you want to write to with marketing elements included. So the number one marketing element that you need to position yourself for sales beyond your book is having the ability to articulate effectively who you are, what you do, how you do it, and the results that you help people to obtain. And what we call that is a power positioning statement. Are you able to articulate with power, right? And with confidence your brand statement in a way that positions you as an expert and as an authority who gets results and who charges premium. Like, people shouldn't interact with you and people shouldn't interact with your brand walking away feeling like you charge low prices or like you're an amateur. When someone hears you open your mouth in 5 to 10 seconds or less, they need to automatically know that, number one, you're an expert. Number two, you mean business. Number three, you're the person to bring in, like, you're the person that can help them to achieve the results that they need. And number four, they need to be ready to charge to pay accordingly. It's as simple as that. And too many of us, I know too many experts who have champagne credentials, but you walking around charging, and you're walking around positioning yourself like you on the bargain rack. And it's time out for that. Okay. And so that's why we're hosting the 7-Figure Bestseller Summit. So whether you are going after your first 6 figures, your next 6 figures, or even want to scale up your business to multiple 6 or even 7 figures, you need some key systems in place in order to do that when building a thought leadership brand. Okay. And so at 7-Figure Bestseller Summit, it's a 1-day implementation experience for experts and entrepreneurs who are ready to write their book, explode their businesses, and amplify their brands. And we're going to help you to create your blueprint in 1 day so that you can actually achieve the success that you desire in 12 weeks or less. All right. That's what we're going to be helping you to do. I like to think about it like a VIP day, but with a group of other experts and entrepreneurs. So the event is Saturday, July 12th in Alpharetta, Georgia. That is in Metro Atlanta, north of Atlanta, about 30 to 45 minutes north of Atlanta. Okay. And seats are limited, and VIP is about halfway sold out. So we want to see you in the room. And in order to grab your ticket, you can go to www.7figurebestseller.com to secure your ticket. And when you come to the summit, one of the first things that we're going to do in block 1 is actually help you to develop your power positioning statement and your power positioning angle, so that whenever you speak, and whenever you speak about who you are, what you do, and how you do it, right? You're able to speak about it from a place of competence, confidence, and credibility. And this power positioning statement is the foundation for your 7-figure framework, which you're also going to develop at the summit. And it's also the cornerstone of your beyond the book offers, which you're also going to be mapping out at the summit, including your speaking and your coaching topics. Okay. This is an absolute game changer for you. An absolute game changer for you. And so I would love to see you guys in the room. All right. So you can go to www.7figurebestsellersummit.com, where we're actually going to be going deeper into these strategies and actually formulating your blueprint. This is your success blueprint that you can use to elevate your book, your brand, and your business. And we're going to do it in the room all in one day. All right. So make sure that you come back and watch this replay. I know that this replay will be up on Facebook for about 30 days. It's going to stay on YouTube, and we're going to let this live on my Instagram page. So if you're just coming in, you can come back and watch this and catch the replay and get you some notes. All right. Because you need to start implementing this strategy now. All right. I want you to ask yourself, how would someone respond to me? Or how would I respond to someone when they ask me, hey, what do you do? What kind of business do you have? Can you tell me what exactly you do in your business? And what is your response? How accurately can you respond? How confidently can you respond? How succinctly are you able to respond? Or are you trying to give a whole rundown of all the things you do and how you do it? And if that's the case, you're literally pushing opportunities away from you. All right. And we're going to help you to attract the opportunities and not repel them simply from your positioning and your ability to communicate effectively. All right. So I'll see you guys. I'm going to try to hop back on tomorrow. I will see you guys soon. All right. And you guys have a great rest of your evening. Good night.